Hello and welcome!
That's not fair! Dang it!
Friends to Exploding Dice, your Kikayo live play roleplay podcast.
So
I am CJ. Wait. Joining me as always, let's start over there. Hey, there's surname given, or nickname given, damn that dwarf, Scott. We have the only speaker of any kind of logic around here. It's Delbert.
Goblins!
There is Kira.
I was actually going to do that when I rolled. I was going to put it in the skull and drop it.
My hand's a klepto.
And we have
so mean.
Klepto hand Rachel. Oh,
I wonder if it rolls better than Kira does.
I know, right?
Not much. I mean, I'll take an 8. It was better than your 7s.
I mean, from the way I was looking at it, it looked like an infinity. So.
Infinite better.
so what happened last time, you guys?
Oh, and they had instant regret.
Swin made a friend.
You did make a friend.
Bird Blub talked.
Twang might be the shortest one of the bunch, but throws the greatest shade.
Yeah.
We enabled Twang to be able to talk once a day for an hour.
I don't know. We might get sick of him in that hour. He might start looking real tasty. You don't have any affinity for, cursed creatures, do you? And perhaps eating them?
Clang, clang, clang,
Fuck!
Goblins!
The party learned some interesting information about some of the goings-on of two of the other party members.
Yeah.
One's a tree hugger.
That none of them really knew about, other than some of the backstory coming into things.
Right.
That none of that we haven't addressed yet. And there's also 2 paths that we can take after meeting the original sin of knowledge.
Both of them dead.
Lots of death either way you go.
One down a Dwin slide, or
It's not a twin slide. It's a.
Oh, it's gonna be
slide.
I mean, everybody slips and
missing
slides
one.
once a win.
You didn't do it.
Haven't done it yet.
D10. Oh, there it is.
Is it right around there?
Nope. We're good. No.
I mean, I can give you a hand.
Everybody go hands to Kira.
Kindergarten. No, I'm on Thanksgiving break.
I mean, there's no worse than me losing my D20 when they're laying on my character sheet.
You're just trying to take whatever you can.
It's harder than you might think without an opposable
sure
thumb.
That could be what she said. No, I'm waiting for you to do that and just knock her dice all over the place.
It's happening on this side.
Meanest person in podcasting.
Meanest person in podcasting. She doesn't want us having any fun.
She's like, I'm on break. This isn't fair.
I don't remember how I had them organized because they're all messed up now.
So yeah, you met the original sin,
We did.
sin of knowledge, Tovwada, blue mage looking motherfucker.
We got stuffs.
Got stuff, which was not at all a rewarding you guys
He
for.
gave me a ramrod. I don't know how to feel about this.
Not at all rewarding
I mean,
you guys for the Pokemon 12 and a half hour workshop that we did.
Oh my god.
Still wish I could have fought your team
I'm so proud
and
of
just
myself for that
and just
night.
crit every single one of them.
I was so proud of all my little nuances that night.
Kira looks so upset.
No, it's good. We're good. I'm just
Everything is fine!
again.
It's quite the debacle.
Oh. No, I'm just reliving friggin' one-shot night with all of the other dice down there. Failed me.
Maybe they're mad because they don't get to hang out with each other.
I mean, that could be what it is, honestly. They're angry because I don't use them.
No, I mean like congregate, like have them together playing with each
No,
other.
you can't have them all together. Then you can't find what you're looking for. What are you doing? That bag is ripped. It's so sad. Yeah.
Nailed it.
Naughty.
Alright guys, so podcast listeners, hi, how you doing? Hi, I'm CJ. You're going to be hearing some ads. Here, right,
Bags opening.
about, now, stay tuned.
Red's apple air. It's delicious.
Yeah, just put it right next to the microphone. There's no way that can go wrong.
Crunch.
Crunch.
Crunch. I mean, I put mine all the way down at the end. At least I did that.
Alright, so, and we're back.
I'm grabbing my soda and then I'm ready. I'm still... Technically, Peru Run's still hiding up in her room, so...
She is still pouting.
So
She's
the
butthurt.
Down the cat nap.
morning sun comes up. Dunk.
What happened to the rooster when you first heard it?
You do remember the giant cup.
Yeah.
You weren't there,
I
but
wasn't. Nope. Dwayne wasn't
Halfway
there.
through, he's
so,
like,
so
oh
now
god,
you're
it
like,
hurts.
what's happening?
Yeah.
Halfway through, it's, oh god, hangover.
What did I do?
Oh fuck.
So I just let it trail off into a gurgle.
Twang actually managed to finish his mug of beer.
Victory burn. That's what he thought he looked like. In reality, it was just him on the floor. Just
I'm laying on the floor.
trying not to swallow his own tongue.
Thunk.
Well, that is going on.
And yeah, morning comes and the winter air smells fresh, even coming through the windows. The wind is blowing kind of hard today. And sadly, even though the sun is coming up, it's very gray. And the snow is still coming down.
I'm gonna say Balric clutching his head from a hangover, having finished 10 of those mugs across the night,
Oof.
while Twang got his one down, and then promptly fell asleep
In the mug.
in the mug.
It turned into a nice nest.
Wanders downstairs to go seek Red for some bacon, a stew cheeseburger if possible, and
Breakfast cheeseburgers.
Breakfast of champions here, man.
and some coffee.
So you go downstairs and there's it's not Red standing at the bar. There's a male.
Oh yeah, Dwin's on her way getting beignets. Sorry.
At Yay Ben's.
Yeah.
So, alright,
All night.
real quick.
No, in the morning.
So in the morning you go out there and You pretty much, as you exit the door, Pride is sitting in front of, like, on the steps, kind of radiating heat.
Oh.
He's always hot, though. Like,
Kinda-
legitimately. He just runs hot.
Did you just get 2 reds out of that pack?
I did.
He,
Sorry.
as he,
You never get 2 reds.
as the door opens, he, turns. Morning, Gwen.
Morning.
Where are you off to this
3
morning?
reds, 1 yellow.
Beignets.
Oh,
Yeah. They're delicious and sugary and yummy.
not really a sugar person, but enjoy.
You okay?
Yeah. There's no wood to chop, so I'm just kind of sitting here.
You could dig a hole.
Thunk.
Why would I dig a hole?
Dig a hole, dig a hole, dig a hole. I don't know. If there's no wood to chop, then dig a hole. Dig a... Oh, wait, they don't need a trench. I don't know.
Dig a well.
Ed boy, take hold.
He's a cat, not a dog.
Life has many holes, Ed boy.
Oh, we're all.
I don't know. Oh, my spelt. I leaned against my freaking dry erasing. Erase a spell. Do you want to come on a walk?
Shrugs. Sure, why not?
Okay. Crap, what was
And
that?
like none of this, like the snow. He again.
Is he still just hot?
Yeah, he was wearing wears pants.
Oh, that's right, that's right. So this
That's
isn't
it.
new.
No, yeah.
Okay, okay.
And like any paying attention, it's like the moment a snowflake hits him, like almost immediately melts.
Just saying, every time Dwayne says that, thank you, Disney. That was only 8 measures. I'm safe.
Left 30 seconds. Fair use. I don't want the Disney Warriors. Please no.
So does that mean like, are his pants just constantly wet in a snowstorm because of all the dripping?
Kinda, yeah.
Sorry.
Kinda,
So,
yeah.
Kira, have you ever been up north during a snowstorm?
Yeah, like, have you ever been in the snow? Yes, they get wet.
I've never been in this room.
Especially when it's just instantly becoming water.
Yeah, I am glad she included the word snowstorm.
Yeah, like, it is, like, and the hair on his body, like, is a little matted. Mostly his mane, but not much. Like,
Oh. I don't
Comb
have
that
a spell
out.
for that. I know.
he
I
just,
mean,
he just occasionally just or is out, the emotion
small
in here.
nature effect with druid craft. Can she like? I don't know. I was thinking of like moving the snow.
Is she gonna, like, have him growing fucking flowers?
No, she was not. No. She
Not
knows.
yet.
She knows. Yeah.
Put the,
I mean, CJ Snooty line, that's all I'm gonna say.
So basically, put the
She's gonna
cat in
make
the
him
bubble
his,
so he can
her
explore the
bestest
outside.
friend.
He's
He's
gonna
not,
try and find a way to like dry his pants off or his hair or
Produce
something.
flame.
It's all like it's like fluffy cat. That's wet. It's not good. I have one when I get
I am a
bath,
horrible
know.
human being. I'm not. Nope. Never mind. Nope.
What?
Nope.
Oh.
Nope.
Do it. Do it.
I
Blow dry.
changed my mind. Just go by yourself.
I was like, well, I'm going to get my
Deal with your fucking
beignets.
soggy pants.
Stay out here in the snow. What was that other spell?
CJ, when in doubt, do.
I don't think it was this.
So, what is it about the beignets that you enjoy so much?
You just gotta try it. It's like a little puff of heaven with sweetness. And then you eat it, and then sugar goes everywhere, and it's
Well, that sounds horrible.
no, it's amazing. Oh.
Dwayne cinnamon roll confirmed because sugar's everywhere.
Loved.
Yeah, it's just
Oh, good morning, Gwen. Oh, hi. Morning.
good morning. Is that red? favorite episode. I'm back. This is the whole drops off the gold, takes all the stuff. That's for the miners' families, and bye.
Miners' families?
You said in the last one he was sad because of his brother and everything.
Well, yeah, but I don't know all the families.
I know. Well, I tried
I
to
know
give
my
it
family.
to Boss. Yeah, and you too. And I tried to give it to Boss, and he gave it back. So here, just take that, and that help people with it, and I'll just take some beignets and go.
Okay. You want one, big guy? Sure. Tiny one seems to think that they're good. Oh, they're delicious.
Give
I'm
him
just
a little
kind of waiting.
extra sugar.
I'm just kind of waiting for it to be like,
And,
as he takes a bite, be
so-
like the sparkly
Sugar's
eyes.
gonna
is this your
everywhere.
first one? Yeah. Oh, I'm gonna go get you one off the oven.
I'm waiting for him to walk back in the red, looking like the powder.
Yes, that's what I meant, because he's
The
already
flower
wet,
cat.
and it's gonna be everywhere. It's gonna be
The
amazing.
flower demon cat.
Ruan rocks down.
So yeah, he comes back and it's piping hot.
Yes.
Just eat it.
Yep.
Fork and knife or anything.
No. You gotta like.
No, you just gotta open that big old toothy maw and shove it in there. Also, anytime I get the opportunity to say toothy maw, I'm gonna take it.
Toothy Mom.
Toothy maw. That's a thing that Kira and I understand, and nobody else at this table gets.
Yay! Dang it, I missed
No,
a freaking
I
spell.
read that comic book.
No, it's a Critical Role thing.
Oh no, there's the Toothy Maws in Sand. What the hell is the comic book name?
Sandman?
No.
It's only 7.
Hopefully there aren't toothy mouths in Flesh Dungeon.
Oh my gosh!
I mean, or maybe there are.
I liked it better when you couldn't talk.
No, that was out
I'm
of character.
sorry.
You're not
I
even
know.
there. I'm not even there.
I know.
Okay, now it's gonna bother me.
Oh, that was a good one. That was a gross one.
When he's injured, it's only gonna get, the shade is only gonna get worse.
Yeah.
So he takes a big old chonking bite out of it, and yeah, sugar gets kind of everywhere. And he,
It sticks because he's already.
yeah, it's wet and it's super like hot, so the sugar's like melting already. Oh, Harsh. Well done. And he kind of shakes his everything.
Does it all come off?
Oh
Or is
yeah.
it still...
Well, most of it's like still stuck on there because it is wet. Like he kind of looks at his hands that are covered in sugar, so he just kind of shakes it all off, and there's still like patches of white on his face. Did I get it all?
Yep.
Sand Kings, by the way.
Oh,
She should have another one.
Just
Joanne's
for the
just
record,
covered.
CJ,
She's already eaten like a tree.
I didn't realize
Cinnamon roll.
this.
he was
Fun
right. You are
fact.
cinnamon roll.
It's this early in the morning. She's already that sticky.
Sand Kings horrified me when I watched the movie of it.
Oh.
It's by George R.R. fucking Martin. Now I know why it horrified me.
And you come down. So flashback to Red's tavern. You come downstairs and there's a half-elf man, no, barely a man, behind the bar.
Barely a man?
Yeah.
Like
I'm
he's
not
super
there.
young.
Okay.
Oh.
Like he's super young.
I'm like,
You're gonna get Dwin's hopes up.
I was going to go completely different direction with that one.
No, he's super young. But I mean, he's a half-elf, so that means he could be either 16 or still 65. Because remember, half-elves are the agents of D&D.
yep.
66, he's screwed.
They are 16 until they turn that one age, and then they just explode out in every direction. Morning. Balric.
Yes.
Morning.
Morning.
Red told me to try and memorize names.
And you are?
Name's Tim.
Tim. Did she tell you about a stew sandwich from last night, potentially?
No, we don't have any stew until later this afternoon. It's more of a lunch and dinner thing.
Do you have anything that symbolizes gravy this morning?
Yeah, we have gravy.
Can I get some gravy, bread, and cheese, please?
don't see a reason why. I don't see anything wrong with that.
Thank you.
Of course. Would you like some coffee? I
Yes.
just made it fresh.
Oh, that'd be amazing. Sorry, a little hungover.
So
Drinking contest with a burb. Apparently I was drinking myself.
So
Somehow I lost.
so he
Ulrich lost to the
holds
bird.
the cup in one hand, and in the other hand points his finger up, and this globule of liquid appears there, and flame kind of shoots it up.
That sounds
Points down in the
horrifying.
cup, and the coffee pours into the cup.
What?
Coffee answer. It's my own OC. Do not
It's fine.
steal.
It's fine.
You are wise in the ways of
I was
coffee.
thinking it was gravy. I'm just sitting here going, what is happening?
Gravy Mancer. That's my evil twin brother, the Gravy
A
Mancer.
big old piping cup of gravy.
Oh, just what I
I mean-
always liked in the morning.
In the right circumstances, it could be used for.
I mean, that probably would be a legit ass hangover cure.
I mean, don't get me
We
wrong,
just
don't
make a food
kink shame.
mancer.
Damn it, Rachel.
Just need some carrots, it's fine.
So yeah, he's kind of. So I'm sorry if it freaked you out a little bit. I'm trying to work on some new spells.
No worries, you seem wise in the ways of coffee.
It's family trade.
You should see what my brother can do with Jello.
It's his last name, Star. Tim Star.
Tim Starboo.
Okay, I would have said Tim Horton.
I didn't even think of that. Jesus Christ!
Which is why you keep me around.
I just thought of Tim, and I'm like, Tim. His name is Tim.
Tim.
He's just Tim. I didn't even think of I thought in my head. I legitimately thought
Yay, Canadian coffee chain.
Tim, the coffee dancer. Like that's his thing. I didn't even think about Tim Hortons at all. Like, so yes, Tim Horton.
I would
The
go with Tim
Doom
the
song was
costume
playing
changer.
in my head.
Okay,
There
these are
was
the
a Doom
important
song. I don't
things.
know where it came from, but
Probably
Tim went to Doom, and I'm just like, Doom, 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 Doom. Sorry.
Tim the coffee chanter.
Yes.
This is where I am.
So yeah, it's
We'd expect nothing less.
I mean,
and he kind of yells over his shoulder. Gravy and biscuit and cheese.
Thank you, Tim.
Of course. Anything else I can get you?
Nothing right now.
Well, as you can tell, we're not really busy right now, and Red left that you guys can pretty much have the run of the house today. So,
One more thing on that.
of
Some
course.
bacon on top of it, please.
Yeah. Get the pig.
Thank you, young man.
Yeah. I am a man.
Okay. Sorry. Still hungover. I'm gonna go find the corner. The others should be by soon.
Okay. Thanks for heads up.
Thank you, Tim.
Of course.
hey, Pride.
Yeah.
Have you ever made a snow angel?
I've exploded snow out of the way.
Yeah, have you ever made it? Because
Peru Run does those a lot. They're super pretty,
you're
especially when she does them.
the heat. Maybe it would cool you down.
I don't really feel temperature.
Lay down.
I don't want to lay
Lay
down.
down.
No.
Just see her trying to like push Pride over is like immovable force,
This
unstoppable
will be fun.
object.
This will be fun. Give me a strength save. Or strength check.
God, no. He sees me do
Opposing
this. I'm
strength
like,
check.
I have 9 dice to choose, like, sets.
Opposing strength
I'm
check.
gonna
Let's do
say
that.
get the prettiest pink one that you can find.
Well,
Or
I
that
wanna
rainbow
use my
purple
new-
looks kind of
I
adorable.
want to use my new dragon ones. But they failed me.
did you pull a Kira?
What did you roll? Please. Oh. 16 plus, I don't even. Hang on.
Jesus. Yep.
Yes! No, does she push him over?
Yes. Fucking 2 on the die.
I don't know what I'm adding.
Fucking 2.
16. Oh, there's 0
Where did
for
this happen?
strength, so it's just strength.
So 7.
16.
And where exactly did this happen? Outside?
Pushes him
Yeah, pretty
on the
much
way
like-
back from
yeah.
Beignets.
like almost between beignets and Ritz. No, I don't want to. Like, no,
Just
no,
lay down.
and it, like trying to push back on you. He gets caught on like a rock or something.
Yeah. Okay, arms out.
No.
Legs out. Up and down.
He has the tail too, still like.
Out of curiosity, if I'm staying on the top floor of the inn,
You can
am I
absolutely
able to see this?
Oh,
Okay.
100%. Like
Okay.
he and one thing like just kind of pushes a bunch of snow out of the way with one of his things. It's like, poof.
Like, so there's no snow for her to make an angel?
Right.
So she starts
Also,
shoveling snow.
when he lays down, the snow starts melting around him.
No, so
like,
she starts shoveling more snow.
are you trying to bury me or
No,
something?
it's the thing, and you gotta do the thing.
I'm doing the thing.
Okay.
Do the thing better.
I know.
I mean, if he does the thing fast enough, he'll go all the way down to the bottom to the ground.
And
Okay,
this is how
so-
Pride gets a fly speed.
It will be the greatest snow angel of all time.
Okay. Stand up.
Stands up and my back is soaking wet.
We'll fix that.
That's fixable. It's okay.
Now look. What do we see?
So it's kind of like almost like a snow triangle, like with a little not little, like a pride-shaped head, and it's like a triangle. And
With
then,
little
like,
thing
and
Hers
then,
is
like,
messed up because
it-
she did lay down when she put him, and then she had to push snow on top of him.
it's almost like an hourglass kind of thing where it's like triangle and then another triangle down there, and then like little tail swooshes at the bottom of it. Like,
Okay.
Very angry dance wishes.
Close enough.
She gives him a beignet.
oh,
Well, he stood, so I don't think she can reach.
No, she jumps up and just slams it in his face. You knocked him on his ass.
good
already.
morning! Boom! Like volleyball spikes it into his mouth. No, my back is so.
Alright, let's keep going.
Placated.
It's like Joker star sugar. Like Pride comes in. I have no idea what just happened.
Pride now feels shame.
Oh!
Two new feelings in a row, man. Fear and then shame.
Oh.
No.
Ring bell.
You had fun.
Pride's sin is now shame. Pride, did you evolve to shame?
I believe that would be a Digi de-evolution.
Can't believe I rolled a fucking 2! Like, even if it was a save, that's only a 7! Sorry, a 10.
Yeah.
You did it to yourself.
I did. I kind of want. Well, that's the reason why I'm like, I want to see this actually happen. I'm kind of glad it did. I'm not gonna lie. So yeah, Pride comes in, just kind of sits down next to Balric and is covered in water and sugar.
What happened to you?
Doing happened to me. She's a character. I kind of like her.
I'm somewhere off stage with no kink shame.
She's fun.
She comes in just. Well, she's already a white dragonborn, but there's just.
Snow.
She has a beard now. It's all sugar and snow.
She's vibrating.
She walks through the wall.
Sugar claws.
She still has a big bag of beignets, too.
Like 150 gold worth of beignets.
Yeah. Yeah.
I'd be rocking that 150 gold worth of venue.
Oh, I'm so happy. She comes in.
This-
Good morning!
This is how she's able to vibrate through walls. It's a new form of the Flash.
Sugar rush.
She just walks up to Balric and just plops a beignet and then goes up to the bar. And does she know Tim?
Yeah.
Here you go, Tim.
Oh, thanks. Appreciate it.
Hey, can you do not chocolate milk, hot chocolate with the thing?
Probably. I can try.
Yeah.
Kind of puts out a cup. Kind of puts his finger up in the air and like the globule of liquid kind of appears. He goes, no, like this traces a thing in the air and the globule turns more brown.
Great.
Don't tempt him. He will roll for it.
Here's hoping he didn't.
Oh no. What do I have to roll?
No, it's fine. It is hot chocolate.
Okay.
No.
Because I roll higher than a 10.
You wouldn't have to roll. Did you just be getting whatever you got?
So it was either it was gonna be the hot chocolate or just like chocolate colored coffee. Like, not
Cappuccino
flavored
with a
coffee, just chocolate colored coffee. Like super brown coffee.
Or gravy
Burnt.
chocolate.
Or gravy.
Or gravy.
If I
It
would've
should have been
rolled
gravy.
If I would have rolled an out one, it would have been gravy.
Pretty great.
This is how a gravy master's born.
He's become the one.
Multi-class into gravy master.
Don't tempt me. I will find out a way to make a character a food master.
Heroic Feast with Strengthened Spell and Quickened Spell. Sorcerer, like 13th level or so, would be able to be a food mancer. Because then you're literally able to just snap your fingers, and as a bonus action, you cast Heroic Feast, which feeds people for a fucking week.
Boom.
That's one way to end the battle.
Just stroll in there, stroll right into the big bad evil guy. Hey, you hungry? Poof!
Half a Snickers will make you feel better.
Heroic feast, compel creature.
Dude.
Oh god.
Actually, the strengthened spell would probably be like 2 or 3 weeks worth of food in there.
Mix an animate dead in there somehow and rewrite it that it's a a turkey, a reanimated.
Reanimated Turducken.
Oh.
And all three decided to reanimate at once.
Still within the others.
Oh god. Oh,
Is that the title? Reanimated Turducken. No.
It is now.
2 for 2.
So I have 3 right now. We'll go over those as we get closer to the end of the show.
Torture Kira 101.
So yeah, we Twang eventually comes downstairs.
I mean, I was operating the assumption I'm still sleeping in the cup.
Oh.
They didn't move the cup because it was just
The cup is at the table I've been sitting at.
Twin puts a bit
He finally just.
I just
Walrick has one.
poke my head out. Beignet in the mouth.
Whisperer make it downstairs. There's not a lot of.
Oh, yeah.
There's
She
not a lot of.
honestly, she probably was looking out, or no, she was looking out the window.
She probably heard Pride's voice and just.
She doesn't know how to take it all. Like, you've told her nothing new. You've just put it out there completely in words, and somehow that made it more truthful and more real for her. So, at some point, after seeing him snow puddle, and be knocked on his ass by Dwyn, which was epically hysterical for her, and then have snow thrown on top of it. She has ventured down very discreetly and is just sitting very quietly back in a corner. Like the point where she's not even acknowledged anybody.
A coffee cup appears in front of Twang.
The same size cup.
Are you stealthy?
25? Yeah.
Damn
Considering my mod is 6.
it. Twin was just gonna
Just
give you a
shy.
vignette. So wait.
Balric's been eyeing that beignet, so he doesn't even notice it and just picks up the beignet and pops it into his mouth. He goes, I get what Pride was talking about.
They're good. Weirdly, I wasn't expecting them to be good. I'm not really a sugar person.
Me either. Don't typically get this. We might want to keep her around.
At that point, Twang actually looks over at Pride and head just completely sideways because of all the sugar and everything.
What?
Fluffed completely.
Full on.
He like cocks his head back at you, like, what?
Coffee.
He grabs his cup and starts drinking it. So what's the plan?
We have some things we need to talk about before we make a plan.
Clearly.
Where is everyone? I think we're missing one. Where's this Peru run that's been with you?
She's normally down here by now. Kind of finally looks over.
You see her sitting literally in the darkest corner. Knees up. Cup in hand.
Maybe she'll get to finish it.
She's being antisocial. Peru, run!
You need a towel. You smell like wet dog.
I have beignets.
She has beignets.
They're good.
Like, she went out even before anybody else was up.
That's good because she took the rest of them.
Like, she's got, like... Yeah. I'm set.
First press off the oven.
What happens when a depressed kitty cat has to face everything? She went and got beignets.
It makes sense. Ben makes the best.
Yeah.
Come on over. We have stuff we need to talk about.
I can hear from right here.
Come over. We have stuff we need to talk about that I don't feel like yelling across the bar. Can we not yell across the bar, please?
Okay.
You don't need to yell. My hearing is just as good, if not better, than yours.
Balric picks up his cup, his plate, the bird perched on the other coffee cup, and walks over the table and sets his stuff down.
Yeah.
As it all hits the table, thunk. As if in unison to the funking onto the table.
We all need to talk, and we all need to face-to-face. Before we make a plan to go direction, we need to talk some things out.
I'm listening.
Shoot.
So...
Twin fires sugar.
Twin just rushes over in a ball of sugar.
It's the stickiest glomp of all time. Because the moment she hits it, like, the sugar starts to melt, like...
I just imagine her being covered in sugar, and since she's near Pride, sugar's actually slightly melting as well.
It's a good thing she has scale.
Caramel-colored scales now. It's the most brown white dragon of all time.
I'm not happy about that one.
Quite sticky at this point.
But delicious.
Yes.
Caramel covered dragon. Now it's the Bernie box.
So, your brother.
In a loose definition, yes. Created by the same person.
That would make you one of these sin people, would it?
Yes.
He's never hidden that
The
fact.
sin of pride.
We didn't know.
We did.
She did.
You did. We did not.
I mean...
We may have just...
Where's it on his sleeve?
Like, he does have a giant, mark on his chest. Like...
I just thought that was a tattoo.
I've tried those. They don't stick.
At this point, Perurin takes the bracelet off and goes,
And the same mark is on her hand. She got marked by my brother Lust, and I fixed that.
So that's what he meant by 2 marks.
Yes. Sin marked are usually the enemy. I am not on board with my father's plan of making this a smoldering pile of fire.
Not
So
all sins
I've-
are bad, though. Just depends on if you let them rule you. Unfortunately, the ones that we've run into previously, aside from Pride, have destroyed everything they've touched, including the original party members that I used to travel with, or the original people that I started this endeavor with. I don't know if you caught that whole comment about fish.
I was wondering about that.
We had a friend who... I had a friend who used to joke that I would eat them.
Like the small bird man now?
She has a thing about eating party members.
Makes sense now.
I wouldn't.
Besides the cat thing.
I'm not that kind of feline, fortunately. And the fish and I, we went back and forth. He was a snarky son of a bitch. And I always told him I was going to eat him one day. Until he ate something and...
There are certain levels of effects that we sins can put on mortals. Sin touched, sin marked, and sin chosen. He ate a sin chosen, bringing that corruption into his body.
ultimately it ate him alive.
Well, as far as you know, he actually has been he's been searching for somebody to help cure that.
At this point in time, she's assuming he's dead. That he has been taken over quite literally by that corruption.
It was a sin mark of, I believe it may have been gluttony.
It was.
I, primarily due to my existence being prideful, I refused to let anybody rule over me. And once I gained my self, I left them. Just in time to...
Pride actually came in and saved us.
Correct.
Minus the fish. What the hell was his name? I can't remember it now.
I have it in my notes somewhere.
He's not known in notes as Fishy.
Fishy, formerly played
I
by
wrote,
Felix.
Fish are friends, not food.
They were tricked, and they were tricked by my brother Greed around Alexandria, the tree in question. Him and his tried to destroy her, ruining the protection that she granted to that area. And well, there was no way that I was ever going to allow that to happen. Turns out Perurun and the rest are good people, and we became close.
Thank you for your honesty. There are the things that we may need to cover in the future, but I can see myself traveling with you.
He nods. Now that is one thing I don't actually believe that I can physically lie.
He's tried.
It is not a skill that I possess.
Uncomfortable.
So he looks at Twang and goes, "You are very tiny."
Or small.
If I possess the ability to lie, if any of us possess the ability to lie, maybe one or two of them may. I know lust can.
I can lie, it's just hard. But again, just sin touched.
Lust is a calculated liar.
And that is the reason why Peru Run can lie, even though she's sin touched.
Rowan.
Hmm?
Rowan.
Ah, yes.
Needed to grab my notes.
God damn dumb fishy.
I know Gluttony cannot lie, but he doesn't talk much.
Is that the slime thing?
Calling it a him is assigning a gender to something that doesn't necessarily have a gender. Yes, it is a...
So I just assumed it's gender?
Yes.
I mean, he probably wouldn't care either way, truthfully. It's just easier to call it.
They are a force of nature unlike any of the rest of us.
Noting assumed gluttony's gender.
Greed is, most of them you can pretty much examine from what their sins are. Greed is a calculated, horrible individual. Will do anything in his power to get what he wants.
Yep.
And hoards everything.
So a dragon?
Yes.
Good call.
His most common form is of a green dragon.
I thought he went for gold.
No, green.
Okay.
Green, greed.
So is lust fey?
To be honest, I have never seen his actual true form. I would imagine that he is more fey than...
Lust, when we met them, was a female.
No, he was a male tabaxi.
Oh,
Androgynous
that's right.
tabaxi.
I forgot about him.
Yeah, he was a male. He was a male tabaxi. He was one of the first guys that you actually met in the campaign entirely.
That's right.
Yep, 7 snakes. Delbers, watch the show.
Well, I watched them all before I was told that wasn't the season we were doing.
Oh.
Yeah, he was.
I was literally finished up those seasons, and they're like, "No, you got to catch up on what this would do." Thank you. I would like to know that 2 weeks ago, because I had to get caught up real quick.
Yeah, yeah. He was the head of the 7 snakes.
I don't want just a side note. I don't want Balrog being like the only one questioning them.
No.
Then again, it plays into my backstory.
Twins popping up like, so then that's a dragon and this one's a fairy because they can conveniently.
She's got like 6 notebooks laid out in
Lie.
front of her, writing at each one of them.
Yeah. Dragon.
I would have thought it would have been 7.
There's an individual snake on each page.
Envy is another. No, Envy is fairly truthful. Usually tends to stay away from everybody. Envy and I were actually fairly close for a while. When I was still enthralled by my father. I haven't touched base with them in many years.
And
Since the disconnect.
that would make your brother the original sin of knowledge no longer enthralled as well. Or is he enthralled?
Tuavara is scary.
Yeah.
I don't know if he is enthralled or not. He seems to act upon his own accord. He's always had a exploratory mindset. And he kind of lifts up one of the... he actually moves his mane out of the way, and there's several cuts in his ear. Pushes his mane back over.
Ouch.
He liked to experiment. I don't know if our father actually gave him the need to enthrall.
But does he want to follow what your father is doing?
Probably.
As far as I know, no. He seems to have his own agenda. Sadly, I believe that if he does, that agenda probably amounts to removing my father from power. Which does put he and I on the same side.
Okay.
I want nothing more than to put my father into the ground. So just because I have the abilities and the formal title of a sin, I have no attachment to the Red Army. Nor do I know any of their connections anymore.
Thank you guys for telling me these things.
Of course.
I had to be sure that I could trust you. I trusted you guys with my lives yesterday, and now I can move forward and know that I have to help trust and protect you people. Especially this... Someone put it to me last night as we were drinking cinnamon roll.
Yes.
Trust is a tricky thing.
It is. You are correct.
Good. The same thing.
Pride gently puts a hand on Peruran's shoulder.
Yes.
Nothing.
You two should kiss and make up. This can't be happening. I am still too drunk for this.
Was that all that you needed?
Major investigative side, yes. What we should do next, no.
No, yes, that is the question.
Yes. So, we could go back down in those mines. Down the spooky, scary slip and slide that damages you. And potentially learn of a path that takes us 2/3 of where we're trying to go up. Where you're trying to go up north.
Correct.
Or we could help this region and still make it up north if we take out that spirit storm.
Correct. Spirit storms are an entity upon themselves. They've, as long as I've been in existence, they've always existed somewhere. Usually an angry spirit of some kind. Most of them can be destroyed. There is a center of them that is usually a very angry spirit.
And is there an easy way to figure out the center? Or is there a way to suss it out?
Depends on the type of storm, honestly. I'm not familiar with ice spirits. Most of mine that I've quelled have been firestorms.
Fair enough.
An easy way to suss it out, honestly, head towards the shit. Keep going until it's too bad, and then go farther.
Makes sense. I personally feel that we need to stop this storm. If we do this, we help the people of the area. And to give you a bit of knowledge of myself, my people don't typically leave their forest. And as you can guess, being of that race, that I am this far north, I am an exile.
I did figure as much. I am not wholly familiar with your people, but I am familiar enough.
You're at least familiar with our race.
Correct.
I, in a sense, what they would call a sin to our people.
He smirks.
My powers are of death. I may be a cleric, but everything I touch eventually dies. But not my friends, and not the things that I deign to protect.
I mean, at the end of the day, we're all going to end up dead in one fashion or another, so...
I can get you there with a little bit less holes, and you may last longer. I'm a cleric of the death domain.
We've, she and I have traveled with somebody like you before.
Were they edgy?
Yes.
The edgiest.
She almost cut me on all that edge.
I'm trying to figure out how to live with myself as this being that has this power and prove to my people that I am not a threat, or I need to find my own way.
Truthfully, your people will probably find you a threat regardless of what you do. Most people tend to fear what they don't understand. Most.
I felt like I could trust you guys since you trusted me with that information. I'm willing to go the direction you want to go, but I think we should save these people. That's what my code dictates.
Well, I think even somebody here in this group would benefit of us clearing up this storm, as he looks over at Twang.
Grab some bacon off your plate. Bites into it. Storms like these ain't to be taken lightly.
It's a fascinating voice.
I want to hear more of it. I hope he's got more.
Roads don't like to do what you want them to.
Blinks. Dwin, do you have any?
Nope.
Did you build for the mine?
No, I didn't. I tried to do half and half. I was looking. I mean, I don't know what's gonna freaking work in a snowstorm.
I assume you're sitting.
Hmm?
I assume you're sitting.
We're vibrating around the room.
She's got like her hot chocolate. And
Teleport.
she's just-
Stops ever so often, sometimes in a chair.
Oh, don't worry, pretty little head about Missy.
she sits
Two head pats in one day.
so she can get patted
From the
by
burb.
The burb again.
Who is randomly calling you Missy?
In a deep old man's voice.
Yeah. Yep. Shaboop. Sit.
You've been around some very interesting people, haven't you, Twang?
He's a cuckoo.
Yes, you are. Haroon reaches over and just kind of scratches on top of his head very gently.
Still nibbling on the little piece of bacon.
So, with that decided, you all enjoy your breakfast and pack up and start moseying into the thoroughfare.
Mm-hmm. I personally would like to make sure we've got some. I would say we have like basic materials.
Oh yeah,
From
absolutely.
Zero stuff.
Yeah.
Okay.
Standard adventure repair.
Yep. Yeah. You all have Red left you guys packs of standard adventuring stuff and some supplies to make sure you didn't die.
Awesome.
I'm
I'm thinking just of like, and then I'd have like standard like spell components.
Yeah, you would have, and Again, I'm not going to make it.
CJ does not require us to have our reagents accounted for.
Until you start getting to higher level stuff
Yeah.
or stuff that costs money.
Mm-hmm.
Like, obviously, if you have magical bolts as an archer,
but I
he's
need
gonna make you...
bone dust.
And you are able to get some.
Here are my rod!
I mean, that's something like, you being a death cleric, I can guarantee you almost always have bone dust on you. Like...
No.
Fine, I won't do it with the hand. Do it with the selfie stick.
What a selfie.
Insult to injury.
Okay. Just then I don't really have to worry about housekeeping. I don't think there's anything really for us to grab in this town anyways to spend money on.
Oh, there's lots for us to grab in this town.
Well, of course there's lots for us to steal.
Before you guys leave,
I never said steal.
Before
This
you
was
guys
out of character.
leave, boss... Hey!
You guys.
Baller flinches.
Hello.
He walks up to you guys holding 3 horses.
You're a mighty strong man holding them up there that
Yes,
high.
packing them. Leading 3 horses.
Literally
I'm sorry,
sending-
when you say carrying 3 horses, I'm like,
He's
damn!
literally sending them packing.
Yes. He's leading 3 horses. And they're the very large, like...
Clydesdale style.
yeah,
Yeah, I was about to say, like,
Yeah, these are not ponies.
Balric would just crush a normal horse pretty much.
No, these are basically war horses. Are you guys heading out into that?
Unfortunately.
Well, it ain't much, but I have these 3 that are not currently being used or rented.
What are their names?
We tend not to name horses around our ranch. In this weather, they don't usually last more than a couple of years after.
Naming them.
If they don't usually tend to last a few years after mating seasons.
Lady called Bacon.
Oh,
Survival.
some dark friend you got
I
there.
understand.
You're clever.
But
You're
the caramel dragon
snowflake.
born
She's,
will end up naming them.
That is more than fine. For
Dwayne, what are their names?
How many? 3?
3.
3?
3.
Ah,
Your donut. Your.
Oh, that was a good one.
You've got
She hasn't even
Clover.
asked the,
I had
the
Clover,
colors either.
Snowflake, and Donut.
Clover, snowflake, and donut.
Yep.
Snowflake's the black one.
Yes.
Because she didn't even look at him. She was like, yep.
This is obviously to get you a little bit further, a little bit faster, and also when the natural order of things comes across. They're good meat.
Make a good stew from them.
It is.
Maybe get some adhesive.
I can make food.
Good on
Cheeseburger.
horses.
We're not making
Horse
glue, we're making food.
I can just create food. I think. There's purify. I thought it was on here somewhere. Oh, that's water.
And we're kind of surrounded by that.
Yeah, there's a lot of water.
I got good berry.
I mean, good
All
berries.
of the good berries. Can I take your order?
Yes.
I mean, good berries a good spell. Keeps you full all day.
I mean, it's not prepared.
Oh,
but-
well then it's less
I
helpful.
wasn't gonna prepare good berry. Oh, that meh. We can prepare it tomorrow. We can live. I've got beignets.
We have beignets for
We have
days.
beignets.
Well, they're yours now, so best of luck in whatever you're doing.
Thanks, friend.
And of course, reach out to me if you need me for anything.
Well, I didn't write that down. But I have the thing.
You do indeed have a sending sun.
I have a thing.
What are their colors? So we said snowflakes the
Snowflake's black. Donut is a white and brown, and Clover is pure brown. I don't
Shitty.
know.
Clover.
World building, CJ. World building. Come on.
Clover's weird and is green.
He's real sick.
We don't really know how it happened. Just came out green.
Just get this freaking free course away from me.
Strong workhorse though. Good in the fields.
Pride,
Kind of losing sometimes though.
Pride looks and yeah, I'll walk.
I don't.
I can wolf.
We're going to be heading into the storm, so I would suggest one carrying packs so we can move easily through the snow, and I'll walk alongside it. Because Balric is used to traveling on foot, not used to ever going horseback.
Ow.
We're not really
Did you
moving
just poke
fast
your nose?
anyway.
I'm rubbing my nose because allergies and my nose is still broken, so it hurts when I rub my nose.
Don't do that.
I have puppy bite here.
That's what,
It's
like, when I was little, that's what
no
caused this
fun.
little, like, divot in my nose.
Freaking puppy bites, man.
Yeah, man.
I thought I was
No.
gonna have to get a stitches.
When I was in before I went to the hospital, I broke my nose falling, so.
No fun.
Leave it to CJ to break his friggin'
Yeah,
nose.
break my nose, dislocate my arm, it's all fun, games. So Peru runs on a horse.
Even though she can keep up, she's... Yeah.
I'm walking in front. I'm a bird. We're
Yeah.
not going to be moving very fast in this blizzard. Somebody's got to lead.
Wins on a horse.
Dwin's the only one on a horse.
Can Dragonborn be on horse? I was gonna
Yeah.
be a dire wolf, but
I mean, if you want to be a dire wolf,
Well, the would be burning spell.
it lasts for an hour, I believe.
Which
Right.
means you'd have to be
Now I have to
burning
walk
those
again.
frequently.
And you only have
for
two.
I
travel.
only have 2.
Yeah.
Does it last an hour?
I think so. I can't say that I know how long a wild shape lasts, because it's always just been, I'm in battle, I turn into a giant wolf, I go out of battle, poof, I'm an elf again.
Because who needs to be a giant wolf outside of that?
Exactly.
Unless you're in a blizzard.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, it is. Oh.
So I vaguely remember seeing an hour as the duration for it. Because I think it's one of the big things for being the Archdruid thing, you just be wild-shaped all the fucking time. So, you guys begin heading out, and Pride being Pride just starts making, like, bounding
There.
leaps through it.
Boom. A buff Tigger.
Yeah, like you guys start walking out, and he's like, all right, I'll catch up, and then like you just see him start like bolting at full speed, just boosh, and freaking horizontal leap. He has like a freaking 85-foot horizontal leap. Like,
Yeah.
Oh, it's a number of hours equal to half your druid level.
so 3 hours,
Yeah.
2 hours technically.
Rounded down.
Yeah, 2 hours.
Balric follows along, leading Donut. Having chose this horse after eating that beignet.
So the problem with your natural explorer in this kind of weather is, and you almost immediately recognize it, as you get past what's a normal like blizzard, which you're fine in at that point. You're like, go here, avoid this because that snow's real deep.
Yeah.
You start quickly realizing that eventually it starts becoming magical. So you like, oh, that looks like a snow dune. Avoid that. Turn here. Poof. And it definitely does as 1 hour goes by. 2 hours go by. You kind of notice every so often, like, as you guys are following behind him, the giant Tigger, every so often he flashes, like, you see a red flash, and then the red flash starts to move in another direction. And as you get to where the red flash was, there's a giant hole in the snow.
What?
And then a running start, and then nothing. Athlete feet. When you have a high strength score, it's ridiculous. Like 30 feet full sprint, 60 feet full sprint, and then an 85 horizontal leap. Like,
And
She can't turn into a direwolf yet.
should be able to.
No,
CR2?
It's a challenge rating of 1, but it says here that.
You're Circle of the Moon, right?
Oh, does that change it?
Oh, absolutely. You can do CR2 and swim speed at level 2.
Dwin's, as we're going out, is on horseback just going over her notes about being able to change.
No, yeah.
There it is.
Yeah,
okay.
Circle of the Moon, you can do CR2 and have a swim speed automatically.
That's why, because I was like, why did I mark off that I could if I can't?
Yeah, no, you can absolutely direwolf.
Oh, okay.
And as you get to 6th level, you can start, it's half your level for your CR. So you go from 2 to 3 next level.
Oh, yeah, because that's 6. Because 6.
Yes.
Half is 3. I was still at 5.
And
Okay.
third hour goes by, and eventually you see Pride kind of standing there, waiting for you guys to catch up.
Find anything, Pride?
Not yet. Trying not to go in circles, but even my internal compass is thrown off by this.
This magic is wicked.
And he's at this point like punching the snow, trying to get down through it. We should take a break here. You guys have to be tired.
I am worn out from trudging through this snow.
You see Perun curled up
On the back of the horse.
on the back of the horse, like, I'm ready to go to bed.
And he's like, just, ora, 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 the snow. Like, and he's like going deep at this point. Like, eventually hits the ground. Alright. Back up about 15 feet.
Backs up about 15 feet.
And he lets out this visceral yell that I'm not going to do because my children are sleeping. And a very similar red aura that was there before just bursts out from him, clearing a 15-foot around him radius.
That's how he's been doing it.
And
Balric's been wondering this for the past 3 hours because he ever just because of the blizzard, he just loses track of him ever so often.
And like a blast of heat hits you guys as he starts kind of glowing red, and the symbols like stretching out from his symbol on his chest, like almost tracing his veins down his body.
You
And he just
can
kinda-
love and hate when he does that.
Kind of sits down cross-legged in the middle of where he's standing.
Tabaxi heating unit. Nice.
Yeah, we'll go with that.
Sorry. Just tired.
Fair. We have about an hour of this before it wears off. Thankfully, if I sit and meditate for an hour, I do it again in an hour. So he just kind of closes his eyes and just sits there cross-legged.
Meditates while doing it.
Yeah. Nothing saying he has to maintain concentration on the storm aura.
Well, can Dwin spend time doing, like, mold earth to make, like, a tunnel?
Yeah.
Does it work? Because
Or you could
Well,
mold up.
mold earth is strictly stone, right?
it says, 5 cubic feet earth.
You can go down. Snow isn't
That's-
necessarily earth, though.
No, yeah.
It's also
So I mean, if
magical.
he got rid
Yeah.
of all the snow and it went all the way down to the ground, then she could go from the
Permafrost?
ground. I mean, that may be buried by snow, but
Earth igloo.
It'd probably be a real bad idea, honestly, because once the storm water wears off, I can guarantee it'll start filling in pretty quickly,
I'll just
Dome.
build like
and
that.
then it's just gonna go down.
Fair.
Dome.
It's not gonna.
And
She was
just-
gonna do
and
it if it was a
basically-
way to protect us. From
Basically,
the
he's
storm.
allowing you guys to have a short rest so you don't suffer a point of exhaustion.
They're
Trudging through magical, difficult terrain
can't
for
do that.
multiple
There's
hours.
stitches on
Especially
the
ones that can confuse the storm that can confuse you.
Right. And I'm purposely not having you guys roll for things yet.
I was gonna ask, do we need to keep an eye out? But
We're gonna be sitting there for an hour, so
yeah, give
And
me-
though I'm sitting on the back of the horse, I am incredibly alert.
And the hour goes by, and other than the howling winds that you guys are dealing with, it's peaceful, almost eerily so, because and all of you know that there should still be animals here.
mhm.
Animals
there's
can
not.
exist in the snow. Some of them thrive on it.
There's no little white fluffy bunnies.
Exactly. There's nothing there. And the grass is, grass, quote unquote, is brown from just being buried.
I mean, it could also be brown because it was almost lit on fire, but
Tomato.
Yeah. And you guys, about an hour later, begin noticing the aura of warmth begin to flicker. Oh, time to get moving again.
Which way should we go? What does the party think?
Everybody give me a nature check.
Nature.
17.
yeah.
18. And mine's a 0. So an 18.
Yeah.
What'd you get, Rach?
18.
Druid got the least amount of
I
nature.
rolled a friggin' 10.
Did I do perception to see the direction?
No, that wouldn't. It wouldn't get you anywhere.
Survival?
Insight?
I want to tell if the snow is lying.
Intimidate the snow.
So,
No, I would sooner persuade the snow.
Animal handling. the
most
snow.
everybody got over 18. So,
Darbuckle.
Hannah's still stuck on her notebooks.
so you guys begin to notice that the wind is blowing a certain direction, and a fair assumption, especially for the well-traveled, namely you two, that is probably where the heart of the storm is, which survival instincts say, stay away from it.
The rest of us are like, nope, we're gonna go towards it. Because we were told to go into it until it got worse.
Yep. Go into it until you hit the shit, and then keep going.
The wind's coming from there. Let's head that direction.
And Pride goes, I'm not going to jump ahead this time. I'm starting to get a weird feeling.
I've been getting that for a while now.
Oh.
That or it might just be it might be the gravy.
And with the gravy note, that is where we'll end this episode. Thank you guys for hanging out with us. Greatly appreciated. If you want to support this stream and everything that we do on the Geek.io Network, head over to patreon.com/geek.io. If you want to chat with us anytime, day or night, head over to geek-io.net/discord. If you want to listen to us live, tune into these live recordings, and also get things months ahead of time of other people, Patreon is where you want to go. Join our NPC guild. For all of us here, we love you. Be good to one another, and we'll see you next time. Bye.
See y'all soon.
Bye.